because it always is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Massive Heat. I'm Jack Farmer. I'm being joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri. And folks, I'm starting as always with the hot seat question on Massive Heat. This one's going to you, Matt Morgan. There was a Twitter post I saw, an X post I saw about Chris Jericho. Apparently, Tony Khan has ghosted him the past few weeks. And friend of the show at the Raj Giri tweeted, I think Tony sees that Jericho is trying to play the game and doesn't want to be part of it, which is a mistake in my opinion. Jericho leaving AEW would be almost as big as Cody leaving, in my opinion.
Almost.
Matt Morgan, would Chris Jericho leaving AEW to WWE be as big almost as Cody?
Almost.
Okay. So for the pantheons of time of professional wrestling histrionics, because that's how to answer this question, right? If you're answering in today's era, freak no. No. Hell no. Because we have the added advantage of 2020 vision of going, well, look what Cody went on and did, right? Mm-hmm. But for the histrionics of Chris's career with WWE, being The Rock, Stone Cold, same night, becoming the first undisputed champion, etc., in his illustrious career in every company he's ever been a part of, including WCW. He did some of the best work of his career. I still go back and watch some of it.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. So funny. But that's a tough question. Honestly. No, my answer is no, just because of being a prisoner of the moment with what we saw with Cody at the last WrestleMania. But damn, it's a pretty close 1 seat.
Yeah, and I guess that was my point. Is not so much like he wouldn't move numbers like Cody did, right? Like he's not going to be your in the main events for the next 3 years or anything like that. But perception-wise, at a time when AEW has kind of been hit pretty bad, he's the biggest star that they had. As far as name value, from before the company was founded, he was the biggest star that they got. And for him to leave, I just think from a perception standpoint, it's a pretty damaging one.
Hey Jack, It's a quick question to Raj. So Raj, lately AEW fans don't like Chris.
Yeah.
So are they really losing something by him leaving on their respective company?
Yeah.
If he leaves, does he hurt them? Time out. Whose dog is in the room? Because we can hear the.
That's my dog. Sorry.
No, it's all good, Jack. It's all good. At least it's not mine. This is exactly how she sounds.
Yes.
When I'm trying to sleep at night. I'm just playing. But you know what I mean by that, Raj? The last 3 years, 4 years, they turned on him tragically.
Yeah.
Which shows you something with that fan base for what it's worth, but nonetheless.
Well, and the learning tree stuff has not really been a massive success either. His prior groups that he's done.
True.
But again, I just think when you look at the biggest names that AEW has right now, just as far as overall names, and I think it's Jericho and then Omega, and I think just either of those would be, just perception wise on the outside. It's not going to affect their buy rates or anything like that.
You think he's still the biggest name in the company?
Who would you say? I mean, overall, star power is people knowing who he
in Bizarro World AEW. Oh my God, without question, Kenny Omega, the Bucks to a certain extent.
You think
Moxley's got to be up there.
MJF
and MJF,
Moxley, the AEW fans I watch every week. They think those guys are way more impressive and the biggest stars of the company, and forgetting that if Chris didn't come to that company, I would argue it didn't become the huge grand slam it became of a competitor to WWE. So it's kind of an oxymoron on one hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so within AEW fans, they probably think Will Ospreay is a bigger star than Chris Jericho.
I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of his name, which is embarrassing because I should, because he's impressive as hell in the ring. But he is another one thrown in there. Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still do that too. For whatever reason, like Mox took me no time to get used to, but Adam Copeland and Brian Danielson, even though it's their real names, it just can't. I just have a hard time with those. I just keep saying Edge and Daniel Bryan. But
Brian Danielson's the toughest because it's basically the same name, and so it's hard to remember.
Just reverse it.
Yeah,
everyone else is it's been pretty easy because Moxley's so different than Ambrose, but yeah, that was tough. It does bug me that AEW fans have turned on Jericho though, because I feel like he was doing exactly what you'd want from him, and he started doing stuff for lower card guys to work with them and help build them up, and everyone booed him for it. Where it's like that's kind of what he should be doing, not
These are the same. This is the same audience that booed freaking Cody. Good job, AEW fans. You booed the next WrestleMania main eventer for 2 years in a row, and eventually created the best finished story that we've ever seen in WWE history. So keep booing talents to WWE. Good job.
Well, a talent that went from AEW to WWE and is now no longer in WWE apparently is Andrade. WWE released the former United States champion Andrade, moving him to the alumni section of their site on Saturday. This is from The Takedown on Sports Illustrated. They report that it was not mutual and WWE made the call. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer says the release was disciplinary, and The Takedown adds on Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation and was suspended without pay. Last month, he was even escorted out of the SmackDown taping, which impacted creative plans with Rey Fenix. Corey Hayes of BodySlam.net also reported WWE couldn't get in touch with him for weeks. Raj, this is a kind of strange story in many ways. I don't know what happened with Andrade. What's your take on all this?
Well, so I knew that he had been on a suspension after SummerSlam because I had asked about that a couple of weeks ago and found out that. I don't know if it was his first wellness violation. There might have been another one as well. So he had been serving a suspension. Whether or not this release is, due to that, or there was an incident and then compounded with the violation, they decided to let him go. But this is the first time WWE has let someone go over disciplinary reasons. Usually it's a part of bigger, massive talent cuts where it's budgetary. So it's pretty interesting.
So can I knock the bird out of the sky on the fact that people are like, oh, he violated the wellness policy? Maybe that's how you got a release. That's not how you get released with WWE, especially under the TKO brand. They've got to dot their I's and cross their T's more than ever for somebody to fail 3 times before they get that opportunity to release somebody. This just happened we're finding out that he failed a wellness policy and was serving and ... This tells me, and I'm speculating, I don't have inside information on this, but it tells me something behaviorally happened to make him get shit canned at the end of the day.
Well, do you think AEW should take him back?
I texted you guys this. It's my own personal opinion. He's very good in the ring, but AEW's got amazing talent inside the ring. So does WWE. So he still, to this day, has not proven he can cut his own promo to sell people into the arena and make somebody see him get beat up, or somebody want to pay money to see him win, fighting from underdog position as a babyface. Like, he has no way to cut promos. And I'm not saying you always have to cut promos. And I texted you guys the same thing that, who I give you this example earlier in that text, guys? Come on.
Penta.
Penta's a great example. He doesn't cut world beater promos, but whenever he talks, there's a passion coming off him that even if you don't speak Spanish, this dude means whatever the heck he's saying. But far more important than that, when he comes out and the music hits, the pyro goes off, he's got a mask on, he's got face paint, he's a great character, great gimmick. kids can all identify to that. They love him. He doesn't have to cut these world beater promos. Whereas I always felt with Andrade, I never understood. Like, he's good in the ring and everything, but we have tons of talents that are great in the ring. He's just an extra at the end of the day.
I always like to say being good in the ring is the bare minimum in this day and age. Everyone is good in the ring. There's no one in WWE or AEW that's not good in the ring. And the people who we say aren't good in the ring are still incredible in the ring compared to everyone else. But you make it, Raj asked the question about going back to AEW, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Raj, maybe you recall, wasn't there issues with AEW and Andrade there as well?
Yeah. I popped for that issue, by the way, when it happened. But go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, there were. There definitely were. There was also a backstage incident. With Andrade, some of the other talents who came from WWE, I think they weren't necessarily happy there, wanted to go back to WWE. And Andrade was one of the talents that fit in that. And go ahead, Matt.
Wasn't he told, hey, if you get into a fight, we're going to release you? He said, okay, cool, smack. Hey, he said, hold up, if I get into a fight, I gotta leave. What do the 5 fingers say to the face? Smack.
I would not wanted to have been the guy standing next to him at that moment when he says
that. It was with Sammy Guevara, and a lot of people thought that he was trying to get fired.
Yes.
So, I guess this is and Matt, maybe I'm going to go to you for this one. When that happened, and I guess a story that's been going on for at least people on the internet over the past few years is that Tony Khan can't control the locker room. He can't control the people there. But here, Andrade is in WWE. Seems like the same thing is happening. Do we owe Tony Khan a little bit of an apology?
No, hell no.
We
because
talked about him.
Where's the reports of him slapping somebody in the face? I'm sure it's behavioral, but where's the reports of Tony Khan saying, don't you do that? Don't you do that? He goes, wait, hang on. Time out, Tony. So if I smack him or punch him, are you going to fire me? We have no choice here, Andrade. We're going to have to fire you.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
What? It's way different than how WWE. I'm not being a WWE mark saying that. It's a fact. WWE does not put up with ish. And if it's going to, they can see the pipeline coming along. And if some things are repetitive behavior, about to be a repetitive behavior, they're going to say, bye-bye, go. Because with thousands of other talents that can do what you do inside this ring. Sorry. And the fact that you can't put a promo on top of it.
Yeah. And I think if I'm Tony Khan, I probably wouldn't take it back. I think you want to send the message that if you think you're leaving for greener pastures, the door is not just wide open for you to come back. You want to send that message.
And Raj, that's your point. That's why I disagree with Super Dave's opinion that AEW, if things are correct and and everything adds up, that he'd be welcome back. Why? No, I disagree with him vehemently. At least I'm praying that AEW, Tony does the right thing. Go, no. It's nothing against Andrade. I don't even know that guy. I'm just saying, you're saying a terrible precedent for somebody that's literally, the way it was explained to us all, was in a hallway with another talent. And Tony's like, Tony Khan's like, you cannot do anything here. If you want to be physical with this talent, I'm going to fire you. Don't you do this, Andrade. Andrade goes, are you sure, Tony? No. If I do this, will I be fired for the 5th time?
Can Andrade, I get this in writing?
You're going to be fired, Andrade. Don't do this. And it turns to the inner talent and goes, no, I'm sorry. No, you don't take that guy back. It's a terrible thing for morale for your locker room. And he's not, with respect, this isn't Randy Orton coming to your company, AJ Styles coming to your company, John Cena. No, hell no. Don't take him back.
I love the way you describe it, Matt Morgan. I imagine now Sammy Guevara going, hey, what are you guys talking about over there?
Just walking in from catering. He's so stoked about his match and thinking about it, going through it. And like, hey, Tony, what's up, TK? High five. And then walks by and this rando just boom.
Yeah, that's how I imagine the whole thing played out. Last question on this. Raj, I'm going to you. You are playing the role of Andrade's agent, and you got to get him a new gig. Now, he's had the issues in AEW, had the issues in WWE. WWE tied with AAA, and AEW kind of tied with CMLL. Who are you calling to
Japan.
Yeah, I think Matt's right. I think Japan would be a good move. I still think CMLL would, take him in for some shots.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't know about TNA just because of their relationship with WWE. So, yeah, it does kind of limit you a little bit.
Yeah. So always be careful, folks, what you do at your job because it can follow you. Speaking of doing your job, I want to let everyone know that you should follow Podcast Heat Wrestling and check out the full gamut of programming here. We've got all sorts of shows here on the channel. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hop into the chat. Leave a comment below. You can always only be in the chat if you subscribe. So subscribe, join the chat, and most importantly, if you hit us with one of those super chats, you will definitely get chatted about on the show. So hit the super chat. Let us know what you're thinking and be a part of the show. Speaking about getting paid, fellas, it's Riyadh season. WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia in 2027. WrestleMania 43 will be the first WrestleMania outside of the United States. Matt Morgan, I see you shaking your head. How do you feel about, is Riyadh season year-round? I feel like it's always Riyadh season.
Because I thought you were throwing a Raj first, I legitimately was trying to hide my facial reaction by looking down. I hate this so much for so many different reasons. Well, Matt, you're a politician now, so maybe that's why. And it's so much more than that. It just isn't to be politics. That's to do with right and wrong. I'm not trying to shake the you're right and you're wrong stick at everybody, but come on, what are we doing here? This company's making billions of trillions of dollars hand over fist already, right? They check in their own what do you call the Gimmick-tron, Titantron, to throw more seats in these arenas, right? Because they're making that much money, and even with the increase in ticket prices, they're still. Raj, I watched your point on 83 weeks at Eric Bischoff, and you made a great point about ticket sales are going up, but they're still selling out arenas. What are we talking about? And on one hand, you're right, you're absolutely right on that, but at the same time, I'm looking the first time you're leaving our country, that's where you're going. That's where you're going. Where we know, we should. And what's not fair is you should not assume Saudi Arabians are the same thing as their government, right? But I have a hard time because it's the government that's financially benefiting from this. Yes, the fans there that get to see it, pay a ticket, and go watch it. But I have a hard time because I feel like we're paying back bad actors that have done some horrifically bad things. Why is that where you're going? Guys, you're making so much money. You don't need to whore yourself out for this. You don't.
Yeah,
Raj,
sorry, go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say, Raj, I think a lot of people are echoing Matt Morgan's thoughts, but I think on the other side, obviously, there's money there. And I feel like, isn't there a part of us that feels like this was only a matter of time before WrestleMania was in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, yes. It's sadly,
absolutely.
He's right.
Yeah, and this is the 300. Yeah, that year will be the 300th anniversary of the first Saudi state being formed. That's why Turkey Al Sheikh really pushed for WrestleMania that year because WWE wanted to do it in 2028. So just as we've had WrestleManias in Canada, but never outside of North America. So the traditionalist in me, I like WrestleMania at night, or starting in the evening, going until I made this point on 83 weeks with Eric Bischoff and Conrad last week, where it would be like if the Super Bowl was in London, and you have to wake up in the morning, early in the morning to watch the game. It's just not right.
Sacrilege, sports sacrilege.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's not right. I don't like it. I get why they're doing it. I get it's a ton of money. Who knows? If their regular events are making $50 million per event, this is probably going to be multiples of that.
So let me ask you a question. Then when will they stop? Because if they keep like remember I'll use this analogy that when Tony Khan AEW decided to change their venue time for their pay-per-view, I said it was a terrible mistake because you're rewarding bad behavior, piss poor behavior by WWE counter programming. Okay, that's always been my opinion. Okay, so the minute they started taking these deals from the Saudi Arabian government, and booking all their stuff over there, you're right, Raj. And same with you, Jack. It was only a matter of time before Mania got there, which honestly, I had better belief in them that they need to do it, especially now when they're red hot. They're like golden hot. That's a bigger white hot. That's a better one. Business wise. They don't need to do this is my biggest problem here. Raj, can they not? I'm not saying they're going to copy the same money they're going to make. Let's say they went to England, but England doesn't get a mania. That's not the first out of country besides North America, Canada, by the way, that doesn't get a mania. They couldn't make that kind of. I'm not saying they're going to duplicate the same kind of money. I'm not saying that. But they're going to lose a crap load of fans, in my opinion. Eventually, the social justice warriors everywhere, and people do, unfortunately or unfortunately, whatever we want to look at it, do decide to pay with their own cash here in America on things they want to support. When they see you whoring yourself out like this, I'm telling you, I'm worried about the long-term effect. I am.
Yeah, I think it's just become so common now for these big companies to do business in Saudi Arabia. Now you have these big boxing fights there.
But it's POS is like the Paul. It's like hang on. It's like Paul. It's the what's his name? The other Paul, bro.
Jake Paul.
Okay, we pay to see him get his ass kicked, and he never does. All right, but that's where the draw is, and you're not wrong. We just saw an amazing fight the other night, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being an old-fashioned person here, and maybe I'm wrong completely.
Well, AOTV Productions with the super chat. Thank you, AOTV Productions. Says one upside to WrestleMania in Saudi. People in the States don't have to stay up late. So AOTV is excited about the opportunity to not stay up late. And typically, a lot of times I like the afternoon PLE shows. But yeah, this one is a little different. This is the main event. This is the big show.
What am I allowed to say the obvious part out loud? I'm not going to do it because I'm going to piss everybody off. But of what
go ahead.
They chopped up a reporter that didn't agree with them. What are we doing?
I mean, yeah, there's that. There's obviously the human rights issues and things that are going on over there.
That behavior. And by the way, that does not fall on the Saudi residents. There's a difference between Saudi residents that live there, were born there, raised their families there, etc. And it's government and it's leadership. But that's who WWE is bending over for.
It's just unfortunate, but it's just true. It's just all about the money, right? And TKO, they're aggressive with.
Can I ask you a question, Raj? Do you fear they're going to sell eventually to Saudi Arabia?
I think that's a possibility. Absolutely,
folks. You heard it here. Maybe not first, but maybe first, second, third.
It's a podcast. Yeah. You can just say whatever you want. Say it's the first.
I mean, who knows? Maybe all of TKO. I don't know if TKO just sells WWE. Maybe UFC as well. So.
Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
I was to say, if at the end of the day they've made it clear it's about making money first, which look, it's a business, fair enough. But yeah, if someone's offering you enough money, if you're there to make money, that's the whole point, right? So if Saudi Arabia ever did offer the money, why wouldn't they think about it?
If it was anywhere else in which they're not known for this one thing.
Well, I think this is where it bothers me.
Because listen, to be clear, it's not the Saudi residents that drummed up a bunch of money and said, we want WWE. It's not how this happened. Let's be clear. That's not how this happened. They are placating to the Saudi government. There's a very big difference between the two. Huge difference between the two.
Yes. And it's as I speak of the fans, I think that and the people that are seeing this, where I worry is the long term, and Matt, you alluded to this a little bit, is I always say, well, everyone says, wrestling fans become fans as kids. They don't become fans as adults. And as they continue to raise the prices and put shows farther away where it's harder for people to go see, kids aren't going to be attending these shows. And I'm not saying next week this is going to happen, but in 5-10 years, you're not going to have the kids that have been watching the shows anymore. It's going to be guys who have a bunch of money and can pay $6,000 for a seat to these shows. And I think that's where long-term it could be problematic for a WWE.
Raj, speak on that. You shared it 83 weeks. I'm going to keep plugging friggin' Eric's show. But it was a great point you brought up about going to a show with your friends that weren't even wrestling fans. They didn't even know what was up. Be able to buy house show tickets, $20 a pop back in the day. And that we're going to lose that now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that is happening, but that's kind of happening everywhere, with all forms of entertainment. NFL games, if my daughters don't like football, do I want to buy tickets for them if they really don't care about the game when it's so expensive, or do I just go with people that want to go? Whereas back in the day, I wouldn't care. They can just hang out and be on their phones, and at least it didn't cost an arm and a leg. Now it does.
Sorry, Raj. And one of the other great points you brought up, and it's irony smacking us all in the face, wrestling fans, that of all people, it was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, who is being accused of doing whatever, blah, 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 that he did, right? We all know. That always wanted to keep ticket prices to entice more families to come out, and second cousins and brothers, uncles, pool guy. Like, he always wanted the whole collective family experience to come watch the shows. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I still think to this day that's the right formula and blueprint, no pun intended, to and I know what you're gonna say. Well, Matt, they're selling at arenas now because they're hot. They've got great talent. They had great booking around a lot of these talents to lead up to where we are now. But we're starting to see a decrescendo on the booking. So will it be there 3 years from now? I don't know. Yeah. I just know of all people on the planet, Vince McMahon was the one who could have always raised prices. And as we heard from TKO, Vince wasn't aggressive enough on ticket prices.
Which is so crazy to hear.
Right? It's bizarre world.
I know you're doing that, making those comments at an investor thing, which is for not for the fans, but it's for investors. But that's still something you shouldn't say out loud.
No. That was Mark Shapiro. Mark Shapiro, TKO said it. And I'm like, who gave him etiquette class? I'm joking.
You just sound like Scrooge when you say that.
You totally do. And that's the difference between somebody who's a lifer in this business.
Yeah.
Right? That understands how to talk to their audience. And people crap about Vince all the time about different things and some very insanely serious things that we all know about, nightmarish things that we all agree upon. But he's still, at the end of the day, always wanted to price tickets so every person could come as a family member and not just bring two adults or celebrities. Like, everyone sees with celebrities there, they're not getting free comp tickets, guys. However you think they are. Trust me, they're not. They're paying for it, maybe a discount, whatever. But I'm telling you, that's how expensive these tickets are.
Yeah, now, I mean, it's hard for wrestlers to get tickets for their families.
Oh, I can spoil that. They've told them a long time ago, Raj, you probably don't know, at least we've heard it from other wrestlers too, probably. They do not give comp tickets to your family members. If you're in a major match, okay, if you're Cody Rhodes winning the World Title at Mania, okay, guess what? Brandy's there. Okay, but that's about it. Every other family member you see has had to have paid, or the wrestler family member paid for that seat. It's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of when I saw the Mark Shapiro thing, with everyone already complaining about ticket prices, I imagine if someone else did that, like if Taylor Swift obviously had very expensive tickets this last tour, I can only imagine her being like, yeah, my plan is to make them even more expensive in the future. And we'd be like, wait, what? It'd be such a kick into your fan base when they're down. But
I'm adult enough, right, to realize it is a business. And this company just took over WWE, right? So they don't have the histrionics and the pride in this company that say Vince had, or other members that have been leadership over the years, right? They don't care at all. Their job is to maximum benefits because I have a very strong feeling they're going to sell it. I do. I think eventually they're going to sell this to the Saudi Kingdom, and we're screwed the day that happens, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Vince wasn't Robin Hood or anything. He clearly wanted to make a lot of money. But yes, he did have his
He was
limits
also
that
not as
TKO
character
doesn't
on
have.
TV.
Yeah, right.
He did
but
try to give away $1 million, so
right. but Vince did have his limits. Like he wouldn't put the ads on the on the mat, right? I doubt he would have allowed ads on the tables and on the big briefcase. So he had his limits. TKO is all about that bottom line. I mean, they are as corporate can be.
They are whoring out their company. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it.
Raj, AOTV Productions has a question. I'm going to send it to you because I know you understand the numbers and figures and things. AOTV Productions says, with a super chat, thank you, AOTV Productions says, Derek Sabato once mentioned that when WWE and UFC merged, TKO took on a whole lot of debt and mentioned that they're probably going to find a way to get all the money they can. Do you think this is tied to that?
Well, I mean, they had the debt from before, from the UFC, from when Endeavor purchased the UFC. They took out a bunch of debt to make that purchase, and then the interest on that debt each year was super high. So, but I don't think this has to do with that. That debt's been there forever, and they're paying it off normally. Now, I mean, the profits that they're making now are beyond anything they've ever done. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just look at WWE's deal with ESPN and the amount of money. Every time it seems like they've peaked, like when they got that Netflix deal, it's like, okay, we're probably not going to see any more insane deals for a while. And then boom, just, same year now with the ESPN thing. So, they just keep finding ways to bring in that moolah, and I think it could be a turnoff after a while. But you got to remember, most fans are probably not really paying attention to this. Most people are just watching it on TV and are not following all the business stuff online. I mean, a lot are, but chances are most aren't, especially not like kids and teenagers who watch it on TV are probably not paying attention to what Mark Shapiro said.
Matt, do you think this is an opportunity for AEW to try their own counter programming? I mean, if they're going to these same places and offering $20 tickets and whatnot?
One would think. And added on top of it, not that Tony's watching, but like anybody from AEW, holy crud, tell your boss, stop running away from WWE when they try to counter program you. You may not like hearing this, WWE fans. This is my personal opinion. You have better in-ring talent from bell to bell, from the opening match to the main event match in AEW, in my opinion. If you like wrestling inside of a ring with not necessarily massive ring psychology, but super athleticism, that's the show you're going to want to watch. And I would not have ran away from this if I was Tony with counter programming. You're rewarding bad behavior, and you're telling WWE, keep doing this to us. I'll keep changing my time. Don't do that. I'm putting up my show against your show. Let's see what happens, because you have to do that. Even if AEW takes a hit, I don't care. I will make the argument there'll be a small percentage of WWE that takes a hit just the same.
Well, I think what Jack is, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, but I think what Jack is kind of asking is, do you think AEW should counter program the Saudi WrestleMania that day or night? Because there's going to be a lot of fans. Is that what you were asking?
How did you get that out of that question?
I think just in general, I think by being like, also even this year, I think that they should counter program. I think they should do a big show in New Orleans this year, where they were originally going to be for WrestleMania. I think they should do a big show there, and I think even for Saudi Arabia, I think they should do a big show and say, hey, all the other companies like the Collective that do your big shows around WrestleMania, come do it around ours. And look, I don't think they're going to steal every fan away from WWE, but start becoming the landing page for more and more wrestling fans. And this could be the way to do it by, I think, week in, week out. They should be like, listen, you can bring your friends here. You can bring your family here. We're not going to cost you $6,000 and everything else. Yeah. I mean, until it's time to pay for a pay-per-view. Then we're going to
Yeah, and Matt, the reason why I brought that's been the big talk online. It has been AEW counter programming WrestleMania and doing their own show and having all the indies come out for that, since they won't have Mania to piggyback off of that year. But they still have SummerSlam, and again, AEW has only gotten over 20,000 fans in the US twice. So it's not an easy thing to do. And for the indies to really be profitable and make a lot of money, they need to get a decent chunk of the fans going to those shows. And the fewer people that are there, the fewer that they can do that with. And AEW is not going to pull 60,000 like SummerSlam is. So it makes sense that the indies want to piggyback off of something that year. That SummerSlam is probably the way to go.
Well, lots of stuff going on with that. I want to talk about this weekend's wrestling. But before I do, a real quick mention to AOTV Productions. I see your super chat about AJ Lee. We will talk about that. We're going to talk about AJ Lee in a little bit. So I'm just going to put that there. So don't worry. I do see that, and I will get back to you on that one. But we had a poll out, Podcast Heat Wrestling, on our Twitter accounts. We asked the fans, who are you watching this weekend? Are you going to watch just All Out, just WrestlePalooza, both, or neither? And we got All Out got 16%, WrestlePalooza got 39%, both got 15%, and neither got 30%. Raj, you look at the ratings a lot. Do those numbers surprise you? Is there anything that jumps out at you as far as our poll goes?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty lopsided, obviously, because one's on pay-per-view. So and it's also not the most stacked pay-per-view card that they've had. It's actually one of the weakest cards that AEW has had in a while. So I think they're going to, it's not going to do that well. It's probably going to be the lowest the least bought pay-per-view this year. And the ESPN thing, you got to remember the app's been around for a while, but people actually using it, with this new revamped app with all the ESPN stations. It's new. So a lot of people still don't have it. It's going to take time for that to grow. So, there's probably more people right now that have Peacock than the ESPN app. So, so it'll be interesting, but I do think this WWE is going to be the clear winner this weekend.
Yeah, Matt, how big, first off, I want your thoughts just on what the poll says here, but also how big of a barrier is it that AEW, you have to pay to watch the show? And in this day and age, there's very few things I'm going to pay $40 for, even if I already have the app, to watch. I could go watch a brand new movie, streaming for less than that. How big of a barrier do you think that is? And do you think that's hurting them in more than just their pay-per-views?
I think it's dependent on the wrestling fandom, right? Like, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I'll pay that money to watch it. I really will. Starting at 3:00, as annoyed as I am. But at the same time, once WrestlePalooza starts, if WWE's smart, because AEW is still going to run overtime. If AEW is smart, they should run overtime, in my opinion. Very smart if they do. But I have a feeling they're going to kick WrestlePalooza off with Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky, or some main event match like that. We already know they're saying, they officially said Brock versus Cena is the main event, right? So now we know they're going to kick. It has to be a major league, major main event that kicks this event off to draw everybody off of it. So with that said, even though I just paid whatever I paid to watch AEW that day, I'm going to get off it to go watch WWE Palooza because I have a feeling they're going to kick off with a major first match, and then I'm watching the show from there on in. And I could watch tomorrow and catch what I didn't miss in the main event for AEW.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Terry Allen Jr., by the way. Super Chat says, last week discovered the podcast, cherish the memories of Wrestling Inc. Great you trio are doing this. Is Glenn not watching wrestling no more?
I'm sure he's still watching NXT.
Yeah.
NXT.
NXT.
He loves his NXT.
Yeah, I've definitely, I've talked to Glenn about coming on here every now and then. And so definitely we'll love to see him on here sometime in the future.
Yeah, Glenn's a good dude. I'd love to have him on sometimes. And Terry Allen Jr., it's great to see you in the chat again. Great to hear from you again. Let's chat a little bit about what happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. An hour earlier, I thought that meant we were going to get to start much earlier. Turns out that they almost went to the same ending time as they usually do. Try to keep it to 2 hours, fellas. We start the show with John Cena cutting a nice little promo in front of his hometown, tells Netflix that people are chanting "Talk to Brock," so he keeps on talking.
You can guess what they were chanting.
Matt, this match doesn't really need a whole lot of selling, but man, Cena can still sell a match, can't he?
And he can, and more importantly, I hope he's like the younger stars are watching how quick he is on his feet of ad-libbing with what the arena is giving him in that moment and reacting right on time and perfectly. It's a great lesson for them all to learn.
Yeah. Becky Lynch is the same way. She's been great at doing that as well. I thought Cena a great promo. I actually think Cena should win this match with Brock. Yeah. I mean, it's the last time Brock doesn't get hurt by it. Cena's still around for a few more months. I don't think Cena should be losing every match on his way out. I think and beating Brock, I don't think hurts anybody. So
yeah, it's not a big deal. He should win. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to see Super Cena for the next few matches. I want to see him do all the incredible feats of strength and things. I don't want to see him get beat.
Maybe lose the last one to Gunther or someone like that, or Braun Breaker. But
he will. I have a feeling he will do something just like that, Raj.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he didn't win a match for like 3 years there for a while until.
I think it was like 5.
Yeah, it was.
Unless
you
count the
or a singles match on
Bray Wyatt.
I will predict
he lost that.
I'll predict.
Did he lose that one?
I'll predict you guys.
I couldn't tell.
I'll predict you both that John either does the job his second to last match or his last match for somebody that really could use it. I'll guarantee it.
AOTV Productions with the super chat gives a prediction. Says Dolph Ziggler once suggested that his last match should be a gauntlet match of 7 of his greatest opponents and have it end with The Rock.
I saw that.
That would be quite the way to go out. I don't know if that's the way they'll do it, but.
So we respect him. Like, come on, let's settle down here. Like John's on his retirement tour. So now we're gonna. Hey, John. By the way, in your last match, we're gonna book you versus like 7 guys, and like hopefully get Brock, and then Rock's last. Like, what kind of no. But like I get for the fantasy booking of that, I understand that. But we've seen John in the ring. He's had some of the great matches he's had in his defense, maybe in his opponent's defense, Logan Paul, to your point, Raj, and others. But what? You're going to book that dude in a gauntlet? Like, come on, no.
Yeah, that's not happening. But he has kind of been doing that this year where he's faced his classic opponents. He faced Orton. He faced CM Punk. Now he's got Brock. So they have kind of been running back to the biggest feuds that he's had.
You don't think but he cannot finish it without Rock. Like, I have a strong feeling on this. There has to be
Rock slimmed down though. Can he still?
There has to be something given. Something has to give with that storyline. Rock interfering. Something. Rock cannot not be a part of John Cena's farewell tour.
I'd love to see it, but it doesn't. There's been no hints at it. Plus Rock is tiny now. Have you seen the pictures of him?
I think some of this stuff is very I watched some of it. Some of it's very exaggerated, but I don't like. Are we really saying Rock's not in shape now all of a sudden? Like,
no, he's actually normal shape.
I was gonna say he's actually about the size he was when he was first wrestling.
I know, that's my point.
Yeah, he's not. I remember when he did the Super Bowl intro and his arm looked like he was about to pop out of his t-shirt. It was just enormous, and he looks normal now. I mean,
what was in the movie with him and Wahlberg? Because that's when he got
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain, yeah.
Pain and Gain.
I love that movie. I thought it was hilarious. Rock was really good in that. But like Rock also, that's when he started to get as big as he was. It was from that role, in my opinion, on.
Yeah, Fast Series when he joined that because he didn't want Vin Diesel looking bigger than him.
But he never had to worry about that. Vin Diesel was like 5'8".
Right.
But this is The Rock, though. He can't have anyone questioning who the bigger dude is. Christina Irwin, I see you sent through a super chat, but there was no comment. So feel free to comment something, and we will shout it out for you. Thank you in advance for the super chat, though. Speaking of Becky Lynch, you mentioned her a little bit ago. The Vision arrived, and Punk and AJ Lee, they went back and forth, all four of them, got some digs at each other. Eventually, the bad guys get one up on the good guys as we head into WrestlePalooza. We got a super chat from AOTV Productions. AOTV Productions, thank you so much for being patient on this one. Says, hey guys, some fans are trying to dismiss AJ Lee because of her low cage match ratings. How unfair is that? Matt Morgan, you believe that a wrestler's value is based on cage match ratings.
What? So with respect, anybody going to cage match ratings, you're giving yourself the spoiler alert that you're either like you're 12 years and under, and you have the ability to go on YouTube and watch and study some of these talents. I know your attention spans are short, but go and watch them. Go watch AJ Lee's stuff and tell me again, like, because I would not have been able to believe that you're saying like her just low cage match ratings, especially in an era where girls were hitting each other with pillows essentially and wear stupid bikinis to the ring and being treated like sex objects and not being good, like not supposed to be good in the ring. She was one of the ones that actually were good in the ring in that crappy era, for what it's worth. And great promo work all the time, great character work. I'm not exaggerating that. That's why the arena's chanting the way they are. They're not doing it because it's Punk's wife. I'm sorry, they're not. They're doing it because they respect her.
People have been clamoring for AJ to come back forever, and it has nothing to do with Punk. They've been wanting her, and every Royal Rumble, like that's always one of the names. Like, I wish AJ Lee would come back, or you hear about a surprise, they're like, oh, please let it be AJ Lee. So yeah, she's a superstar, and but going by cage match, it's just I saw that too. There's trolls online. They're saying, oh, so and so has much higher cage match ratings than AJ. Man,
can I ask a question? Is cage match now the new 5-star Dave Meltzer crap?
Pretty much.
Oh no, Dave Meltzer is still the king of the star ratings, I think.
Right.
But cage match is there.
But time out. They listen to like people, wrestling fans that are willing to add a little extra and go on their website and give a score to a match. That's how it's judged, correctly?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. What happens? The fan has no semblance of a clue of what they're talking about what ring psychology is, what a character is, how they're getting over the audience. Is the crowd into this match? Oh, Matt, they know all that. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
My advice to anyone is anytime there are faceless opinions from people on the internet, you probably just shouldn't trust it. It's probably just ignore it. And that's basically what.
Don't be stealing my tweets, Jack Farmer. Don't be stealing my tweets.
I'm going to use your tweet for the next hot seat question next week.
But I think you're just seeing it now with AJ Lee, the stuff with Becky, Seth, Punk. It's been the best stuff on WWE TV this last month.
Yeah,
I agree.
And tonight again, they stole the show. It was the best thing on the show.
And
misdirection tonight. It was very well done, by the way.
Right? Yeah.
I agree completely, and I am famously a CM Punk and Becky hater. Well, I've become a Becky fan through all this, but I do want to give a shout out to Christina Irwin, who put this chat through after the super chat. Says, I don't think AJ Lee gets the credit she deserves because of the attitude toward the era she was in. It was the reality TV era, and I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah,
I agree. So, and I know that comment there. So she was a wrestling fan like through like 3 separate generations: the Attitude Era, the Reality Wrestling Era, and then today's era. So like I know she knows what she's saying. Yeah, she's right.
Yeah. Something that I thought was so clever that WWE has done, and I really got to give. I don't know how intentional this was or not, but I didn't realize that Heyman being gone right now for the Vision is so important, because if he was there, you wouldn't be able to tell this story without it being Heyman Punk drama the whole time. But with him off TV, these four can have their
point.
story breathe and not have that weight next to it.
That's a great point.
It is, right? Raj, go ahead. That's a good point. I agree.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. But yeah, it would be awkward with Heyman there with this whole thing. So it gives them a reason to not be on TV. I hadn't even thought of that. Absolutely.
One thing we need to discuss is what's going on with CM Punk's hair. Raj, I'm going to answer that.
I think it looks great.
What do you do?
What's wrong with it?
Did you ever watch Heels?
I've never seen Heels. No.
Did you watch that?
Getting close, Raj.
He had pretty much that hairstyle on Heels when he was.
Is it a reference to that then? Maybe that's.
Well, he had that. Technically, he had a mullet, right, Raj? He had that with.
He had the blow dried hair with the mullet. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It looks like that's the way it's going right now. I don't know. CM Punk.
Well, hang on, Jack.
But I'm like, I don't know. I can't do it.
Jack, you've buried his hair long enough. Let me jump in. I just want to say, like I always hated bald-headed Punk. I always thought he made him look minuscule and skinny and scrawny. So I hate when he's AEW, when he shaved his head, I'm like, why did you come back? Like, no, what are you doing? So like the fact he has hair on his head, like I like that because the alternative is not good.
I agree 100%. I never liked it when his hair was super short or shaved. I agree. It made him look smaller.
Yeah, I need everyone to chime in the comments in the chat. CM Punk's hair better now or better when it was shaved? I want to hear what everyone thinks.
No. Clarify. Bald Punk versus Floby Punk today. Floby Punk.
Floby Punk for me any day.
These are the questions that are super important in pro wrestling.
The hard-hitting topics we're getting to.
AOTV Productions, super chat. Thank you so much, AOTV Productions. Says you guys are great. Thanks for making me smile. Well, we appreciate you, AOTV.
Thank you.
As we move on, a few things that happened. Grande Americano was around, but not just Grande Americano. There's Grande Americano 2 and 3 showed up, and they're getting wins, but at the same time, Dom Mysterio getting more heat from the Judgment Day crew for being pals. Matt, unpack all this for me.
I like it. I like the connection with Dom and Americano. And Americano's jacked. He's tall. He's great looking. I'm a huge Americano fan. Now, the other stooges that are putting on masks, do your part. Help our boy win. Like we saw on Raw tonight, I'm in favor of it all.
Yeah. Raj, what's your take on Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio and all this going on? I'm loving it. It makes me smile the whole time.
I think it's entertaining, but at the same time, man, this Dom Finn Balor heat has been going on for like a year at least now.
Feels like it.
It's just right. So it's okay. Let's say he goes against Finn Balor eventually. Like nobody cares. That match happens. Nobody's gonna care.
I don't know. I think it would be.
What? Okay, hang on. One person in the reason I think Finn Balor is gonna be one to take it to. No.
What single feud has Dom had recently that's been hot? I mean, AJ Styles. That's the only one I could think of. Yeah. So yeah, I think Finn could be that one.
Everything this dude touches is gold.
No,
gold.
It's great. He needs a good feud.
Matches he's not even in on the outside with Liv Morgan being the main star. Like he steals everything.
He's great.
All right. No, Finn's had so many chances. He's an amazing in-ring talent. Looks like $1 million physically. I don't disagree with any of that. But nobody ever thinks that's your future world heavyweight champion ever. Now, let me ask you a question. Does Dom ever have a potential of being the world heavyweight champion, Raj? Yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know. No, not. I don't see it as world heavyweight champion.
What? Yes. You
oh
my God, yes.
I don't see it. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's tough to see.
Listen to me. He's single-handedly carrying AAA as we speak.
He's entertaining as hell.
I'm not going to cut his promos for him, but like I would love to because like I don't know. I think our fans love Dom undercover. I really do.
I
I
do.
think for the most part, I mean, the Miz won the world title, so anything's possible. But the world champion for the most part has to have a believability of toughness, and I just feel like Dom doesn't have that at all.
My timeout. What about being the jerk that rips the carpet out from the guy who should automatically win, and then falls on a banana peel, falls on the babyface 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Like, what just happened? I'm the champion. What? Everybody boozing out of the arena.
When was the last time someone was a WWE world champion that didn't look like they could actually win a fight?
It's Miz.
It's Miz.
Yeah. But this would be my pushback, Raj, is he stood face to face with Rusev today. And Rusev looks like he could crush Dominic Mysterio. But at the same time, the thing I'm thinking of is, how is Dom going to weasel out of this situation now? And I'm so excited to see it. But that's to the point. Rusev looks like he could beat someone up. He's tough, but I don't think Rusev's beating Dom. I think Dom's going to find a way out of it. And I think that's the charm of Dominic Mysterio, is he's got this charmed life somehow, even though he shouldn't.
Right. No, absolutely. Dom should not be losing to Rusev. Rusev, he's lacking something.
Sheamus shouldn't have lost to Rusev. To Rusev, for what it's worth.
But I think that was the best Rusev promo we've seen. I think it was because of Dominic Mysterio and the way he was kind of playing off of it.
The most entertaining he's been has been because in a segment with Dom. So goes back to that point.
Love Dom. Well, if I showed you guys a series of pictures from today's main event, I don't know if you'd be able to tell if it was this week, last week, or the week before. But we had LA Knight and Jimmy Uso versus Braun soon. The good guys lose. There's a brawl at the end, and one of the good guys hits another one of the good guys. Again, this is the exact same thing we've seen every week for the past few weeks.
I agree.
The only takeaway I have. Oh, no.
Go ahead. No, finish your takeaway. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, my big takeaway is I'm a big fan of groups looking like groups. And if I didn't see them arrive together, and this was my first episode of Raw, I'd have no idea that the Brawns were paired with Becky and Seth Rollins. Nothing about them feels like a team over the past
I agree.
weeks.
Real quick, Raj, I'll take 2 seconds. I was just going to say, whatever you said, I agree with it. But more importantly, I needed LA Knight to hit him tonight. I needed it. LA Knight is a crabby, annoyed, waiting forever to get his shot, the world title, finally win it. And all this crap is getting in front of him, these stupid speed bumps, other faces turning on him. If he did not deliver that tonight after the handshake, I would have written him off as a fan. So he needed to hit that tonight. But Jay did not need to do that with the spear last week, in my opinion, to set this up, because we remember Jay did something else to him like 2 weeks previous. So you're right about repetitive, but I liked LA Knight being the exclamation mark finally.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. And I like the Jay LA Knight dynamic. I wish every Raw didn't end the same or look very similar.
Yeah.
But the Jay LA Knight dynamic, I really do like that, and I think it's giving LA Knight something to kind of sink his teeth into, and he's crushing it. Like, you see him in every segment. He kind of steals every segment he's in.
He does, and looks like the only man in the room with respect. I'm sorry, I'm being a bodyist. I don't care. I'm not apologizing for it. He looks like he can kick your ass in a real fight, and I'll always buy him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's been for like the past 5 years or however long he's been there. I don't know why they haven't pulled the trigger on him. I worry that he's not going to get the trigger pulled on him this weekend, but they should. If he was world champion right now, I think he'd be crushing it. I love hearing him call people dummies, and I just love the way he talks to people. It's hilarious.
He could easily be world champion.
Easily.
Yeah, I want to see him. I'm on the LA Knight fan train. I've been on it for a long time, like everyone else, and I want him. I agree with you, Matt Morgan. If he didn't, I don't know why I have to say your full name every time I throw it to you.
That's like me. I keep saying Mr. Matt Morgan. Like I said it on 83 Weeks because Glenn would always say Mr. Matt Morgan. So it's like just have it. I'm like, I'm here with Mr. Matt Morgan.
I appreciate it. What I was gonna say though is like, I don't know, Jack, if I accept your LA Knight fandom being your disrespect to CM Punk. I'm the driver, so is Raj, of the LA Knight fan train. I don't think we're letting you on.
What?
That's true.
You show bad practices by you.
I can like one and not the other.
I'm joking.
It's a package deal, man.
If it's a package deal, then I'm not getting on the train. Well, you guys, this was an absolute blast. I had a fun time chatting with you guys. Big weekend of wrestling coming up this weekend. I know we're going to be checking out all of it, and I know all of you are in the chat. Like, comment, share, subscribe, stay up to date on everything here at Podcast Heat Wrestling. Before we go, we'll go through. Raj, where can we find you online, and any last words?
Yeah, check me out on Twitter. Follow me at the Raj Giri, and I think I'm going to be on 83 Weeks again this week, so check that out as well. I was on this past week talking about WWE being in Saudi, so check it out.
Well, we appreciate you not being too big for our show and still
Big time Raj Giri.
And Matt Morgan, are you going to be chat with Conrad on the show, on his shows or something soon?
You guys already know to find me on social media. Don't waste any time on me. Go ahead, Jack. Hit yours.
I'm Jack Farmer. You can find me at Real Jack Farmer across all social media, and most importantly, you can find me right here on Massive Heat every Monday. I appreciate you guys so much. This was a fun one. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you all next time.
Hi. Good job, buddy.